Yes, I have been to American wars several times.
Oh.
And having fought in Iraq, they told us to look for weapons of mass destruction.
Wait a minute.
And I was in that. Yes, please.
You fought in Iraq on the American side?
Yes, and
on the battlefront.
I was there in Tikrit, I was there in Al Assad, I was there in Scania Wolf. These are battlefield places, and even Baghdad. You know, we had the victory camp. So
you fought. You were in the American.
I was a commander and one of the commanders. But here is the case: is having been awarded. I was awarded speaker with one of the prestigious military awards called the Recon Military Leadership Award. And I am only one in East Africa. So having been there, I know what I'm talking about.
I'm with Alexandra here.
Yeah.
United States of Africa.
Yes.
There is no African who is a foreigner on an African land.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter where you are.
Speaker, you are right.
There is no foreigner
yes.
who is in Africa
yes.
and you are an African. You are saying, I'm a foreigner.
Yes.
Free your mind now. Be part of the People's Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.
The Pan-African Pyramid Round Table, weekly round table. My name is Andrew Irumba Katusabe. Your speaker here to 29th of August 2026 at Speaker Resort Munyonyo is the 9th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards and the 12th anniversary dinner by the Pan-African Pyramid. Don't forget, my comrade, my elder from Zimbabwe, Comrade Maponga Joshua Marara, the third, will be here. I also have some friends from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. I have some guys from America, Canada. All of them will be here in Kampala. I have also been trying to organize for them a good trip. I want when they come, we visit the source of the Nile, we visit Machison Falls, we visit Kasese Rwenzori Mountains. I take them to a place. In fact,
yes,
when we are going to Rwenzori, you should be there.
This time I should be there, sir.
Because we will take that trick.
Yes.
That from Kasese, Mbarara, we
yes.
go like that, then we come back with food. Yes. Katunguru. The first, yes. Well, on my right is my usual suspect, my elder, Daniel Rugarama Karuchiko. Rugarama, say hi to our viewers.
A very good morning, or afternoon, or evening.
Depending on where you are.
Depending on where you are. To you, our esteemed viewers and fellow thinkers and contributors in the Pan-African arena.
Because the other day you told me there are some weekend thinkers.
Oh,
so
yeah.
which ones are you greeting now?
Actually, what happened?
Which ones are you greeting?
You can even thank God that there are those who can afford to think over the weekend. There are those, unfortunately, and I say this with a heavy heart, who don't think at all. Yes. And this is the dilemma. And this is what the likes of Puro has always said, that those who think will come and take over this continent the way it was taken over some time back, because they thought better than us. They came and colonized us for well over 16 years. It is a question of thinking.
On my left, a very long time buddy, comrade. This guy we've been together in the 20s.
Yes.
In the 20s, right from the Global Peace days. Those are very many years, I think. Ambassador Milton Kambula, who is the current country director of Global Peace Foundation Uganda chapter, but he has also been recently, I think a few days ago, also appointed the country representative for global
The leaders
Without Borders, the national. And as I speak right now, I think his quote is at the dry cleaning. They are preparing it to travel to Singapore to address the global leaders on similar issues. Comrade Kambula, you're welcome.
Thank
it's always a pleasure having
you. I'm very delighted to be with you, Speaker. And you are not only now a speaker, you're a spiritual leader now. The Pan-Africanism, DNA, and spirit.
Moves within
I'm proud of you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And our viewers, please just love Africa, because Africa is home. So I'm very happy you invited me, sir.
Thank you, sir. Comrade Galama, will begin with you. Before we go to our main topic, xenophobia in South Africa, I wanted to go a little bit around about what has been happening in the Pan-African context around the world. And one of those things that I want you to discuss before you bring yours is last night, Trump came and said, we have signed an agreement with Iran now. Now start your engine and start working. I want to hear your views. Now you're starting with the laughter. Is that part of the views?
No,
Is that part of the comment?
It would take a very hard-hearted person not to laugh at some of the things that come from Trump's mouth. I don't know if he does it deliberately or it is that is him, because at one time he was bashing a senator, this lady, the American lady who has got her roots from Somalia. And the kind of words that he used is not only very despicable of a president, even if that president was from another country, not America, and that it is America. It makes it, because there is a way they have always held themselves out there as possessing the highest moral authority on how, and they want to shape the agenda on how the rest of the world should move.
They are the moral compass.
Exactly.
They are the police officers of the world. On everything.
For a very long time, those of comrades who have not given time to think through some of these lies have always thought that everything that comes from the American top leadership, especially political, is something that should shape the political trajectory of the world. Now, Trump, as far as the many wars where he claimed, and I see this era being repeated by so many of our colleagues, that Trump came with the ideology of America First. And to them, America First mean that he's going to be inward looking. He's not going to go outside America.
Outward looking.
Yes.
Everything is about America.
It's about America, and he's going to concentrate on the affairs, the American affairs within the geographical boundaries of America. They forget that America has got well over 100, if not 300 plus military bases outside her geographical territory. And that even those other countries which do not necessarily have the military bases, in one way or another, by policy, they tow the thinking and the practice of the American politics. So therefore, when you look at the Iran, the United States of America with her cousin Israel war on the Gulf, we say, okay, Iran, if you like, it shouldn't have been fought to start with, but America, especially graduating from relatively easy, if not overwhelmingly easy, victory over Venezuela by capture of Senior Comrade Maduro and his dear wife so easily, and taking him to America. They thought they would do the same in Iran. So the inconsistency, and I said this before, I want to repeat it, that everything that has happened in Iran depicts the fact that Trump in particular and America in general, political leadership in general, have been consistent in one thing, that they are consistently inconsistent.
The Guinness Books of Recordings. That's the English of Guinness Books of Recordings.
What did you say? What did you say?
You know, don't disturb my champ. Those are breaking records.
That is consistently inconsistent.
Very dangerous statement. We see then can come to that one. But NBS will do for us.
Now, before you go, before you come to my brother, it is Trump who is seemingly very excited and very fast to announce this. We have written an argument. Iran has said nothing. This feeling that Trump is very excited to be the first to announce, like he has been longing for this peace agreement.
Yes.
Yet in the beginning, he was longing for attacking Iran. In the beginning, he was longing to launch without consulting anybody. Not even the UN Security Council.
Yeah.
Not even this.
Senate.
Not even this. What is this organization that he later on accused of not joining him? NATO. NATO. He did not consult any of those. He went. He was voting for their blood. Now he seems to be
Destroy a
the most.
civilization.
He seems now to be the most interested in ensuring that an agreement is signed yesterday. Exactly. And once it was done, and I'm saying allegedly it was done because Iran has said nothing. He seems to be the happiest for having signed the agreement. Even based on that, and warned Israel not to dare attack Iran or any other country that Iran has an interest in. What do you read from Trump's mindset? Is that a mindset of a winner or a loser? That will be the rest I'm asking you this.
You see, what we must also appreciate, going by the words of one of the global geostrategic analysts, in the names of Noam Chomsky, is now ailing the Jewish American theorist and thinker. He says that the United States of America is declining power. I agree with him, and so does Professor Geoffrey Sachs, or Sachs as they call him. Now, a declining power like America does many things, including saying this and then saying the other, because they don't want to be caught off guard. They want to stay relevant in the faces and the eyes of the people, that they still can call the shots. You remember last time, they were even fighting over COVID-19. They claimed that actually it was China that brought COVID-19. But then again, they went against their word, including Trump, and they claimed that, look, it was not just China, but what China did was that they stole our technology from one of the universities. They went and rapidly developed this COVID-19. You even ask yourself, why now really complain over such a deadly thing? Anyhow, it was the same thing with G5, you know, this G5 thing, because America was still at G4. So that's a declining power behaves like that. But what I want to state also is that this manner of jumping on anything and everything is a characteristic of Trump. Trump, save for the inconsistency of America as a political leadership, Trump himself as a person has helped us a great deal, because he represents a typical white, because they like being called white, a typical white racist man or woman, if you like, because majority of them, a good number of them, is what they are. What Trump has done is to bring out that picture that if we wanted to look at a typical racist Caucasian person, it is in Trump. And therefore, that he is losing in Iran is not good news, not only to him, but to those people who held United States of America in extremely high esteem, to the extent that they were giving them undeserved awards. And as a way of concluding on this, therefore, I am not in any way surprised with what is coming from the White House. Because it's not only Trump. beat the military or war secretary or secretary of war, as they call him. Is it Hegges or whatever the name?
Whatever the name. You don't want to know.
It doesn't matter really. Then the secretary of foreign affairs or whatever of state. Then Trump himself. Then the vice president Vance, is it Vance? All of them, they have mastered one thing, that in order for them to stay relevant, now that they seem to have lost the home ground hoarding, because they are really very weak on the home turf, they must come out time and again to present this what we call the bravado. Just stamping, that I'm the big man, I'm the big boy around here. Because you see, at the end of the day, if you are big, you don't need to announce to anybody. Any other person out there will know that you are not only big, but you are also powerful. The weakness of United States of America political leadership is exhibited in the fact that they continuously talk about their bigness, when in actual sense they are nothing but a bubble.
A bubble.
But to the conclusion,
A bubble.
your conclusions are somehow not very, not very pleasant.
Not promising. They don't give hope.
Comrade Ambassador Milton Kambula,
Yes,
on the same subject, what do you think when you saw? First of all, I want you to give me the general opinion about Trump attacking Iran. Was there relevance? After analyzing that, now I want you to tell me what you read from his mind. A man who entered chest thumping, like you were saying, with bravado. Now, he's the one who seems, from the last night's tweet that he ran very fast to issue out, showing how he has finally achieved an agreement. It shows a man who is not anymore proud for what has happened to him in Iran, but a man probably who is regretting for having started it anyway. But now that he has got what one would call a soft landing, to have a ceasefire agreement and withdraw, and it's what he has been praying for. His heart looks to be he's regretting, because Iran has said nothing. Iran has not even been pushing for peace talks. He has not even been pushing for an MOU. It is Trump who has been announcing every now and then. What do you read from that? But let's begin with the whole ideology, how it began. Was there any relevance of attacking Iran?
Thank you, Speaker Irumba. I must say that I thank Chairman. I think he has more of his fellow professors from Colombia. That word, bravado, those are very serious statements. And when you hear them, you just know he's talking about a bull in the crowd that is bullying everybody around. Yet it has forgotten its responsibility for keeping law and order and keeping global peace. The USA founding fathers promised that America will make sure they build a nation that is enjoyed and free for everybody. That's why they say their power is enshrined from God. So their founding fathers told them that they are all equal. Human beings are all equal before God. But today we see a very declining spects of the leadership of America, to the extent that it's the very institution it is abusing international law and order, but also spending more than $30 billion in a war like this of Iran, supporting Israel, its ally, to suffocate a civilization, to promise to terminate, destroy a civilization. that has taken blood and wars for the last 5,000 years, Iran building. So I must say that from the beginning, according to us, the experts, now I'll put on a suit of the Global Peace Ambassador in this country, that this war was not necessary, Speaker. And why was it not necessary? Is that Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu misled President Trump. And I must say loud and clear to our leaders, our friends, our partners in the United States, that indeed America was dragged in a war that has left millions of people dead, the economies of the world collapsed, and the people of Iran suffering, and destroying and killing and assassinating the leaders of a sovereign state called Iran. This is against the rules of engagement and against the Geneva Convention, the international law, but also the very objectives of the very founding objective of NATO. I am happy that NATO did not participate.
They refused.
They were very wise. They saw how Trump is being misled. I see Germany, even France, Britain, they are all actually on the surface of this agenda. So the Americans must pay the cost of more than $30 billion. That is the cost of this whole war to the taxpayer in America. Israel, of course, as a son or a daughter of America, I don't know how to call it, it's like your child telling you the neighbor is bad, and for you just come and bang the neighbor. And you realize your son has just made you make mistakes. So that's how America.
And they want to clean the mess.
And now Uganda has paid the cost. Kenya, the whole of African countries have paid their share to this war, because right now fuel. is now hitting to around 8,000 shillings. You know, right now economies are suffering an additional 4.4 kind of economic downfall. 4.4 is huge. In America, fuel is high. People are suffering. You go to Iran, of course, Iran has suffered a cocktail of issues. Sanctions, poor infrastructure destroyed, education shut down, hospitals, the young kids were killed. So we need more than $1 trillion to reconstruct the Iran that we knew. Can you imagine? So in conclusion, what do we learn from this? Is that United States has to reform its foreign affairs and put priority to diplomacy than a president having a lot of power to actually make a decision without the Senate accepting. But even the Pentagon, I don't think the Pentagon agreed. Many generals have been fired because they disagreed with the Secretary of Defense. And even changing the name from the Department of Defense, I was a foreign contractor in that department, and having won several medals from Middle East battlefields, it was not necessary to change even the Department of Defense to the Department of Wars. Those kind of names were in the Soviet Union era during the First World War, because the whole world was dragged into wars. So each country had no business apart from industrialization to keep war running, economy to conquer colonies. It was basically wars of conquest. Now today we are talking about peace, we are talking about diplomacy, we are talking about the very foundation of values, driving economies, education, technology. We don't need Department of Wars. Where are you taking us, Secretary of Defense? Definitely, as a friend of ours, I believe these statements don't work for you. But I even remember you said that this is Trump's war. I remember clearly, and several senators communicated to us and say, hey, Mr. President, you are taking us to a war that is irrelevant. It is going to take our partners away from us who have been trading with other countries that are allies to Iran. UAE has been depending on us. Now the exposure is, as I conclude, Speaker, America has been exposed. The B2 that we knew, that is now the new technical, scientific, and untouchable. the Iranians hit
I
them.
was showing them that actually this is nothing.
This one, the space technology that keep nations on a 24-hour safety and security, surveillance and accountability, they have also been tested that they are useless. So the war of nuclear that they were claiming Iran has, they have discovered these guys don't have nuclear bombs. And so, as much as the agreements are now getting to be signed, Mr. Trump, as you wait to leave office, I beg the United States to use the time right now to assess the impact of this war on the United States and all its allies. And so too, to rebuild and reboot the relation that you enjoyed for those many years. 3 is to put priority on building economies that don't involve mechanisms of deadly weapons like this. So we want our coffee, for example, to go to America. That's what we want. Iran has products. They want those products to access the biggest market in USA. The Chinese the same. And as you promised them, Americans, America first, building America to be great again. Is this the way that we will build America to be great again and get ashamed to lose even the very thesis of your vision? Get exposed, expose the weakness of the American weapons, or even the very victim. You know, I get you, I put you in a garden to scare the birds not to eat the rice. Is that the leadership America deserves, or the leadership of the Washington? You know, you remember Roosevelt, you remember those great leaders that positioned America to lead the world, not to lead the world through opening and establishing wars. We are tired of this. America should be an exemplary leader of the world by becoming a moral compass, an advisor, an environmental defender, a human rights defender, not abuser of human rights. And massacring and assassinating leaders of sovereign nations and abusing the very Article 2 of the United Nations Charter. So I want to end here and say, Africa, we must now learn from this experience and kind of reinstate good relations with America and teach them the civilization that built the America of the 5 BC.
Very good. Now, comrade, the exit of Trump from this war with an agreement, do you see it as a win for America? Like America has won the war, so now it's okay for them to go back home and relax, they have won the war, or America has lost the war?
You know, having been in war itself,
you were in the war?
Yes, I have been in the American war several times.
Oh.
And having fought in Iraq, they told us to look for weapons of mass destruction.
Wait a minute.
And I was in that. Yes, please.
You fought in Iraq on the American side?
Yes, and
on the battlefront.
I was there in Tikrit, I was there in Al Assad, I was there in Scania Wolf. These are battlefield places, and even Baghdad. You know, we had the victory camp. So
you fought? You were in the American?
I was a commander and one of the commanders. But here is the case: is having been awarded. I was awarded speaker with one of the prestigious military awards called the Recon Military Leadership Award, and I am only one in East Africa. So having been there, I know what I'm talking about.
I'm with the general here.
Yeah.
I'm with the general here.
We were really contracted, and I thank our leaders. Of course, these relations come because our president has had very good relations with the United States, the Pentagon, and the United States Army. But they told us, go and look for weapons of mass destruction. I remember entering that tunnel
in Iraq.
Chemical alley. They told us the guy is go in. We entered in. We are looking for the chemical engineers. Those people who studied temperatures and evidences, and we even reached to the time of even testing the food. Everywhere.
You are looking for weapons of mass destruction.
We need to find any. Up to today, the same thing that embarrassment America suffered in Afghanistan is the same embarrassment they suffered in Iraq. And so we are asking.
You were there in Iraq or Americans? Please go look for weapons of mass.
Exactly.
And you entered in the tunnel.
We entered there. We entered there. We have scars all over our bed, and I still actually we are more than 35,000 people who are demanding America to pay us damages, cost of damages. Do you know that
these are the
we have very many? We have actually one of them. I suffered a landmine, which is alive. Actually, we are still demanding America. This was a landmine.
Oh,
my leg would have. I just survived, and many people died on that day. I have several scars inside there. Of course, they treated us, but we have signatures and the damage of the misleading leaders of America to drag us in useless wars. Mr.
This was the landmine.
This was the landmine. Very serious landmine.
Show it.
This one. So I need to go.
I want the camera.
This was the landmine in Scania.
Baghdad.
No, this is the Scania.
Scania.
Scania, not the vehicle. It's a base. It was a war. It was like a kind of a zone.
In Iraq.
In Iraq, and I lost people on that day. People died.
And you were the commander.
I was in a commander, one of the commanders. So they hit all our ECPs. They hit our everything. We are in advancing, but the whole territory, incomings and landmines. So the whole place was compromised, and so. One of them, but I survived. But many of my comrades died, and on that day I remember. I remember losing my mind, and I got a helmet, which had fallen down. Now I thought it is the gun. And I am looking for the enemy. So
the mind is good.
The brain.
You threw the gun and you picked the helmet.
And you know what I was saying? I said, God, I want to die with the enemy. I can imagine, because they had slaughtered and killed many of our friends. So here we are.
You threw the gun and
I am dying in a foreign war, which I don't even know whose objective lies, just lies, that the man we are looking for is the enemy #1 of the world, including Africa. But yet there is nothing. And I had to write in the Spice, there is a news magazine, a magazine for the US Army, that it is time for us to pursue peace without the gun. It is there. It is a historical document, a page. And they said a Ugandan commander has spoken.
You give me a copy.
I'll give you a copy. It's on the internet everywhere. So I have very many battle scars all over. And when I reached here, I had to pursue global peace. One of the reasons why I'm pursuing and promoting peace. Peace cannot be achieved with the use of the gun. And those of you hooligans in our UPDF who are actually misusing the barrel and the trigger of the gun, you need to go to hell, because there is no nation that can pursue stability with the gun. The gun was manufactured to give our capacity to protect our borders, not to be used against citizens. So we have civic discourse and awakening that when I have issue with Mr. Irumba, he has to take me to court. I don't need to call CDF, the son of the president, to deal with you. That's stupidity and ignorance. And so no country has achieved stability. Yes, you can achieve it for 1, 2, 3 years, but 5 years you cannot, because it is not sustainable. That's why all of us, some people are claiming here to be generals, but generals of talking and misusing the gun, and bringing conflict, dividing our tribes, dividing our people, using the gun to protect the thieves. Yet the country is bleeding of poverty and no roads. You know, corrupt they found. Recently, my sister with a lot of money in her house and claiming that, but that's not the issue of today. How do we fight corruption? By use of the gun or through the court? Provide the evidence.
Take the person to court.
And take the person to court. Why is Resige still in that stupid court? He has to be free. He has gone beyond the days the Constitution provides. And then you are sending generals and soldiers and boots in Lord Mayor's house.
They are now arresting the lawyer.
That is stupidity. That means you're a coward. You're not supposed
They are
to.
arresting the lawyer. Why are you standing in for him?
We are talking about drunkards
You
here.
brought the rule of law.
Rule of law.
Let it work.
Exactly. That time is over. And so, President Trump, please, I beg you, sir, that your promise to keep diplomats alive allow us to guide you on how you must manage the conflict. And Prime Minister Netanyahu, please, your term in office is being challenged by you forcing a war on Iran. Iran supports the Palestinians' sovereign and independence, just as you were recommended by the United Nations to be recognized as a sovereign state. Each one of you, as the guidance of even our President Museveni at the United Nations, said we must respect these two nations and each must enjoy their individual independence as individual countries.
They have power to exist.
Exactly. So each country must have its own passport and people must have their own security, and we must even trade together for conflict trade. So I recommend Iran, on the other side the Palestinians and the Iranians, and the other side we have Iraq, Israel, we have UAE. We live in peace, you're all Arabs and children of God.
Very good. Have you seen an interface with a person who has gone through an experience? You see, we are normally here seated, Comrade. Now, and this is Comrade Rugalama. This is a reality.
Yes.
Ambassador Milton, somebody meets you today,
Yes.
and they hear us calling you Ambassador of Peace, Peace Ambassador Milton Kambula. Someone even wants to challenge that. How did he attain that Peace Ambassador? You see, our world, our Uganda here, how did he attend that? If you tell him, okay, you want to know how I attended, come we go and start from Baghdad.
Exactly.
You will stop at the Entebbe airport. However, you who has seen it, you who has almost, you have one leg. When you come here and tell them, guys, in fact, I've been talking about this mob justice of Bodabodo.
Yes, sir.
They are doing these things because they have not seen.
They don't know what they are talking about.
They have not seen the absence of peace.
Exactly.
Now, you, Milton, who has seen it,
people
moreover,
die.
imagine a man losing a leg from a country that is not his own. He's dying for somebody else. He's dying for somebody else.
Yes.
And when you die, you only enter the history. Here, they died 20. Very good. Okay, sorry. And the business ends.
Yes.
They bring another 20. Milton is gone. But what about your people in Kasese, the Rwenzori Mountains?
I don't like that war. When I think of Iraq, I wish I knew.
But how did you end there?
Man,
Because we were on the streets suffering together.
Ooh.
How did you
Madam Museveni has been also telling us that the global war against terrorism. Don't you remember the 9/11 attack? So Museveni was told, now you are a general there, you have to join us.
Send us
and make sure that the war, it became a global war. Every country sent troops there.
Hey.
Some of us, they grabbed us on the streets here and we found ourselves. But you remember, of course, we were born also in Kasese.
Yes.
That stupid ADF who killed many of my relatives. My grandfather who died also in war many years ago. They beheaded him. He was buried without a head. So some of us, when we enter peace, we enter it spiritually, physically, mentally, and so because it has reduced on the possibility for us to have stability, for even to thrive in business. You know, my grandfather was a very rich billionaire in Uganda. We had a family in Congo. The richest woman in Eastern Congo was my jaja. So I am here. Now war comes, kills all of them. My father did not have a good foundation. Their father died at 35 years. 35 years he left the children 9 women. The children are close to 60. They started selling all the land, all the property. Now as the grandchildren, we have to come on the street and suffer. So you do not know what it means to have 45 years of uninterrupted peace in Uganda. And I'm telling you, Ugandans, use the peace you have right now. that no rebel activity is going on. Kony was defeated. Lakwena was defeated. Those ADF is now in Congo. Now use that time to activate engineer a 24-hour operating economy. What about going to the garden at midnight? Yes, we are out. You go out to dig. You a teacher. Why are you surviving on one teaching subject or job? No, every Ugandan must have more than 5 jobs to survive. Yes, because the space is enabling. We need banks to work 24 hours, the airport to work 24 hours, the shops, the bars, the farms to work 24 hours. So Ugandans will chase poverty because we have a debt to pay. 128 trillion Uganda shillings. Every Ugandan must pay more than 3 million shillings.
But who ate it?
These corrupt people. We don't see that, but they use us like
so me I'm paying.
We are security. We are their corruption.
We are there. So me I'm paying a debt who's I don't know who got it, where you put it.
Every time you hear a politician has a business, that's our money. That's our money. Where did they get the money? So that's why, Chairman, I liked his discussion last time. Said, let's check ourselves. We must check ourselves. Garama said it. We must check we will not pay for debts we did not eat. So history will check them. So the leaders that are listening to this debate, Pan-African movement is here to say we are coming for you. Legally, spiritually, including our father here, he's hearing. So he's going to get annoyed. Our ancestors are going to get annoyed and you will go back and we will recover our money.
Comrade Rugarama, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Comrade Rugarama, America that is pretend to be the night watchman of every aspect of life globally. Human rights, right to life, right to food, right to accommodation, right to medical care. Under the UN Charter, you are the lawyer, you remind me, because me, I'm just following you, I'm just a student of law.
Yes.
So you are my judge. The UN Charter, I wanted to read it explicitly. There is a whole article that talks about that you cannot segregate people on account of their tribe or race under the UN Charter, isn't it? Here is the same America under this World Cup. Because somebody comes from Somalia, they say you cannot enter here. Have you seen that referee?
Yeah,
a referee is denied his due job, professional job, his right to earn a living because he is a Somali. Then they start bringing all sorts of accusations. We suspect he has been dealing with this, is it drugs or something?
Yes.
But there is no evidence. Now, FIFA last night came and said, even if you have not been allowed to officiate at the game, you are entitled to your full due payment. We will pay you. Why are you paying a criminal? If I am a criminal, why are you paying me?
I think the most important thing.
America.
Let me just a little bit go back to my brother
Milton
Comrade
Ambassador.
He talked so extensively about some of these disturbing episodes in the world, and especially the subject to do with peace. Kambula and the group are not the very first persons that have gone to wars they know nothing about. The First and the Second World Wars were actually tribal wars, as in the words of Pio or more. These Europeans, they were just tribal wars. In the words of Professor Mumba, because these Europeans just developed disagreements, and somehow we found ourselves also being dragged along. I can assure you that none, when you hear your great grandfather telling a story,
you come and pick me from Africa.
your great grandfather,
there are tribals there.
your great grandfather,
I'm very annoyed.
who pride themselves in having fought the Second and the First World War, they will tell you they were in Burma. What were they doing in Burma? What? Who invited them there? And then they parade all sorts of medals which they were given and what have you. But I can assure you, not even those who died that they were being honored, like maybe buried in Japan or where, you will find they will show you the graves of those combatants, they call combatants, and they are labeled, they are written on and what have you, and they have been there for years. But for when you say, what about the Africans who died? Because there were a number of them said, no, those
They are not listed.
They are nowhere. They say, we buried them around there, and it's an overgrown bush, and they don't want to recognize you. So I thought you would, yes, I thought you would also talk about that Comrade Kambula talked about, the peace therefore. But the way of peace is again very challenging. If we must go back to rediscover ourselves and enjoy the peace, it will be very difficult for us to enjoy the peace which we have not fought for. Peace is not handed over on a silver platter. And that is why even America, for America to remain the citizens of America, wherever they are, to remain enjoying peace, their country must stay very peaceful, heavily armed. But I can assure you that that is not the case. They seem to be losing the ground, and that's why even now as we talk, the American society, wherever they are, outside of their geographical boundaries, they are experiencing lack of peace. And at the same time, it appears, because they have been committing so much atrocities, it appears going forward that things which appear to be changing, like the emergence of we are no longer living in a unipolar world. The existence and the growing of the multipolar world will automatically bring a scenario where the former superpower called the United States of America and her citizens will be in greater danger, because wherever they will appear outside of their locality, even including, by the way, in their very own geographical locations back in the United States of America, the people they have offended greatly will want to revenge. Now, how do we therefore come to the peace that Comrade Milton is talking about? We must develop the capacity to protect this particular peace. And although we talk about dismantling, like Germany did, dismantling the nuclear weapons, we talk about Japan dismantling the same, suffering the after effects of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombs, there will be need, for instance, now Africa, for us to get away from the shackles of capitalism. This neocolonialism that is afflicting Africa. The only way we can overcome it is by coming together and assembling a force that is going to economically, politically, and ideologically liberate ourselves from the imperialists. Short of that, we shall continue to suffer under the weight of somebody who has designed to keep certain other parts of the world under the weight of capitalism. Capitalism itself is a sin, if you didn't know. So therefore, for me, Comrade Gumba, in a manner of speaking, my worry is much bigger than can easily be expressed here. And what is my worry? My worry is that we seem to continuously shy away from seriously looking for what the problem we are suffering from is. And the moment we do not appreciate the magnitude and the nature of our problem, we are not going to be able to get out of our predicament. Our predicament is that we have not been able to understand who our enemy is.
Comrade, you have finished that point, and I wanted to talk about the referee issue that I told you.
Now, arguably, the referee from Somalia is one of our best, if not the very best on the African continent. I'm glad that even when America created all manner of excuses, I heard how Trump was disparaging, for instance, a female colleague senator who is of Somali extraction. Like Trump is of the German extraction anyway. And he should be deported because even his great-grandparents went to
Trump
America.
himself is not an American.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nobody's an American.
But he's chasing Americans.
The
Yes.
red Indians so
And
generally
he
right.
should
All
even
of the
he
Americans.
should even
He's
chase
chasing
away
non-Americans when he himself
his
is not
wife.
American.
Yes.
Because all his wives, previous ones, they were not even Americans. You know, it's a hard job being the president. I mean, the wife of Trump. So can only be foreigners, if he likes, that can do that kind of job. And I think the son of
Chairman is becoming harsh.
Hey.
Point of
Well,
order.
some of these things.
So
I'm just
are you saying
repeating.
he's a disabled chairman?
I'm just repeating some
character.
of these things that have been said there by other people, and not in bad faith, because some of these things must be said the way they are. So therefore, when you look at what Canada has done, they have allowed him. They said no, you can. It's okay. When you look at Mexico, they have also allowed him to come and officiate your. They can just reschedule. They said the matches that were going to be played in the United States of America, if you're not going there, they exchange with the other guy. So you will still earn money which he was supposed to earn, and not because he has underperformed. But you see, the biggest question is that even when we have got laws that govern FIFA, where we say there shouldn't be discrimination, that politics should not interfere.
Exactly.
Counter politics
Yes.
should not
A
interfere with the rule
the law
of
is
the game.
there, Article 16.
There is
something
no
like that.
way you
But
can
it is abused.
allow Trump to do
Come and
what
interfere with
he is
the
doing,
sport.
Exactly.
and we leave him. Actually, United States of America, because of the actions of the president and the leadership of Trump, should be banned by so many years.
All
Because
the exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
From participating in the World Cup.
the resulting
And actually, they shouldn't even have been allowed to host the
Exactly.
World Cup.
One of
now
them.
that it has,
He
they
signed.
were already there. Okay, of course they could take that decision, but the law is very clear. What happens when you bring politics as a host country into
The sport.
the sport,
Yeah.
that game
They should-
of football,
Eh.
which has got global rules which must be respected. So for me, really, I want to simply state, therefore, that Trump is an embarrassment, not only to his country, but also to all right-thinking members of society, wherever they exist.
Comrade Milton, the UN sits in America.
Yes.
But you are a lawyer. Remind me that charter where
You mean the Human Rights Charter? Because there is nothing
The
like the UN you are talking about.
No.
The Human
the
Rights
UN,
Charter.
that protects the rights of all global citizens as equal.
That is a mere statement. It is not there. First of all, yes, I know, of course, you are talking about this, what we call fundamental human rights.
Yes.
There is such a thing as a right to food. You can't deny, even a prisoner must be given food. A right to life. You cannot arbitrarily take somebody's life there.
Life.
So now,
Freedom.
there is this law under the UN Charter, and it is headquartered in America, that you cannot segregate people on account of race.
Color, religion, race, sex.
And America are here in Africa sending billions of money to 1 hour. Huh? What is it?
8.
To 1 hour. Fine, okay.
Maybe we go South
The
Africa.
producer
maybe.
is
We go to South Africa, I think.
yes. Now, America, who is supposed to be the custodian of these very, very important human rights, is the one that is allowing a Trump to say anything, do anything on behalf of other people. Trump, his administration, stopping a FIFA referee from entering their country to do his job, even without any reasonable, allegation, but just because he wants to find a reason. And FIFA also kowtows to their puhu. FIFA, FIFA, I saw the FIFA president saying, yeah, every country have their own rules of engagement. But really, FIFA has the capacity to say, Mr. Trump, you are bringing your politics in our game. And for that matter, we can suspend you as a host, America, and we host these games in Mexico and Canada. And then we are going to suspend America for the next 10 years, not participating. Yes.
What happens in sports, when it comes to FIFA, is a non-partisan, and it does not depend on the authority of any of government. It's in their constitution. That's why you remember here Magogo faced the challenge with FIFA and some other groups. But FIFA came in quickly and said, FIFA is an independent entity, so it requires non-interference. There is that article of non-interference. I think it is in Article 16, something like that. Now, when it comes to the US has gotten privileges at the United Nations. What you need to know, as much as America currently is facing that leadership, I will call it a crisis, I don't know. The citizens of America may get annoyed with me, but somehow we need checks and balances on the kind of heads of state, the presidents that come to lead America, because America is the biggest entity on the globe, the superpower. We expect the most serious and the smartest and the talented leaders in this field. So as much as that is there, but it still provides and supports more than actually 60% of the funding at the United Nations. So you bear that whoever gives you finance influences your decisions. So it is the weak, exactly.
The tune.
Yeah, that's the first weakness of the United Nations, and that's why African presidents are seeking reform. But that reform they are talking about must be backed up by a requirement of equal contribution to the sustainability and operations and management of United Nations and its agencies all over the world. We will not blame America when America is one state funding more than 60% of the total budget of the United Nations, including NATO, including all this, even your African Union. So European Union,
I think African Union is even providing 80%.
Even Chinese,
even the building you are in,
exactly. Chinese,
even the toilet where you're going and the toilet,
even the poo-poo, even the food. So what type of question are you asking? You are asking if the father is taking care of you, and you're asking,
I want equal rights.
I want equal. First, you are first to do the responsibilities of your father. Then you can sit on the equal. Actually, Professor Pielo Lumumba, I worked for him as a PA for 9 months. I salute you, sir. He said, for you to sit on the table with of elders, when you are still a younger man, you must challenge the elders that you can double their cost facilitation to several of these things. When they have given $1 million start, and another one says 2 million, you total all their money and you say $10 million. Then they say, hey, it's an to you. Now he can come and contribute. And then you will vote and your vote will be counted. But here are more than 140 nations. America, the single state, as a single country, provides more than 60%. Including these people we are talking about. That's the loophole. That is the energy.
Including FIFA.
Including all these agencies. Hosting alone, America had to pursue a roadmap, which was approved by FIFA. So if you approved that the American president is free to utter out such a statement, and you cannot retaliate, you cannot respond, they have kept quiet. They have actually agreed. So that shows how much corrupt the whole world, all the citizens, the level of character. We are not defined by character anymore, which Dr. Hunjin Preston Moon talks about with his compatriots, the late Dr. Martin Luther Jr., talked about Malcolm X, Mahatma Gandhi. They talked about a character of a leader, a character of the citizen, that time must reach where we are defined by our character. Here we are now being defined by how much money to measure our level and which level of citizen. To measure whether you will sit on the table and have your rights or not. Can you imagine? So this is, I would have said bullshit, but we are diplomats. I have withdrawn it.
You have not said it.
But but here is the FIFA with well-documented laws, and they have protected them. But all these laws work to those who are weak. You know, to be a member of the International Court of Justice. America is not a member. Israel is the International Criminal Court. So they will drag Museveni to that place, but they will not.
America will not.
There will be no any.
When they come from America, America says, "I'm not a member."
He will not. He will say, "Man," and he's the one funding it to crack down all the weak kids of this world, and at the UN.
Maybe just a supplement on that. You see. Even that American viewers, including Israel, they are not necessarily members, if you like. But we had the Netanyahu and his minister for defense. They were referred there. They are now having indictment. The most important thing is that shall we be able to ever grab them?
They go there, but they got to grab them.
Gentlemen, we are running out of time. The main topic now is actually coming at the end. This is the xenophobia, Afrophobia in South Africa. You have stopped me from calling it xenophobia. Because for me they are targeting Africa. So it is not xeno that you are targeting anybody. You are targeting a particular color. Afrophobia. Comrade, the other last week I saw this man. This man, I don't know what his name is, the commander of those hooligans. Just stamping. But when they are organizing, I see police following them, working with them. Some of them are even in rare, they don't want to be identified, but there is security inside those people. The history of South Africa, wouldn't it tell a story about the unification of Africa, about the brotherhood of Africa, about the need for unification of Africa, about coexistence of Africa? But secondly, you are here. Which lane are you having? Which lane? Where does it come from?
From South Africa.
Which lane do you have?
Both MTN and Airtel.
I also have MTN.
That's South Africa.
Akara, which lane do you have?
That's South Africa.
So all of us here, we are customers of South Africa. How much does MTN collect a day from Uganda? Now I want you to look at the money, billions from Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya,
from the whole region,
Burundi,
it is more than $400 million.
Go to Nigeria
a year.
Now, after
So
collecting
$4 billion.
After collecting all that money, you take it back to South Africa. Then you find some 3 Ugandan. One is a Sangoma, another one is a toilet cleaner, another one is a street cleaner. You say, you people, you are taking our jobs, please go back.
Already these are jobs in other countries.
You have collected $4 billion from us.
Yes.
$1 billion. But you are chasing 3 Ugandans from South Africa.
Over $2.
One is a Sangoma, another one is a toilet cleaner, another one is a street cleaner. You are saying you are taking our jobs. Let me begin with you.
That is stupidity.
Do I understand it? So should I? Okay, make me understand South Africa. Make me understand. Maybe I don't understand.
I am not sure.
Maybe I don't understand.
No, you understand.
I am not sure that those who are doing what they are doing understand themselves to start with before you understand them. Do they understand themselves? It's a paradox. It's a paradox in the sense that this is the same South Africa, and I've said this before, that took the Jewish state, Zionist state of Israel to International Criminal Court of Justice. And they have pursued them, they are still pursuing them. They have gotten some semblance of justice from there because the state of Zionist state of Israel has gotten some bashing from that particular court, including the indictments. It therefore defeats logic that the same South Africa could be hobnobbing with people who seem not to understand what it means to have Ubuntu. South Africa's history is intriguing in the sense that this is a country, and we have repeatedly said this, I want to join issues with you, which is built especially after the overthrow of apartheid to some extent. I'm not sure that apartheid is completely stamped out of South Africa, by the blood of Africans and beyond, because like I told you, I said it here once again, that also we had the Cubans who actually died, among other battlefields, the Battle of Quito Canevaro, and the members of the frontline states, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Tanzania, even non-members of the frontline states like Uganda contributed to the overthrow of the apartheid regime in South Africa. So much is the fact and truth that South Africa itself is a byproduct of the efforts of the entire Africa and the entire world, minus of course these ones who deceive us that they are part of us, but when in actual sense they are supporting the apartheid. It shouldn't be South Africa and Ramaphosa, above all, pretending over a country which is suffering from Afrophobia, and Afrophobia being the fear of your very own, people you look like, people who you share a culture with, because xenophobia confuses.
Afrophobia is fear
for your own,
from
your very own.
Yeah.
So it can,
like you would go back home and you fear your mother.
Yeah,
you fear
that's
your
what
brother.
it is
absolutely.
now.
So therefore, Julius Marema is correct, and I cannot agree with
Senior
him
comrade.
more.
Yes.
That when he says that you people, you are being foolish, and if you want me to support you on a worthless fight that the Nigerians, Zimbabweans, who even were willing to delay their own independence from the colonialists simply because they wanted South Africa to gain independence, your very problems, the Ghanaians, and they recently just about 300 of them, the president of Ghana sent a plane and they took all of them. Now question is, and they have killed about 5 Mozambicans not long ago. At the end of the day, question is that all those jobs which the South Africans, that small group of South Africa, claim that were being taken by foreigners, their own brothers and sisters, whom they refer to as foreigners. Now that these jobs are now there, have they taken those jobs? Have they been created? I want to tell you, therefore, I don't want to dwell on this really. I want to tell you that the problem is much bigger than we can just see with our naked eyes. This is not just a mere black man against a black man. No, this is an extension of imperialism. An imperialist through capitalism is one man that has never forgiven the apartheid regime changers for having lost South Africa. He is extending the fight through enabling the entire world to see that the black man is incapable of providing any credible leadership. That when he comes back and he presents himself as the most credible alternative, that it was an error in the first place to chase him away from the South Africa. That he is the only one that can give political, economic, and social insurance to even the South Africans. We shall all welcome him as a liberator who is coming for the second liberation, because in the first place, history would have shown that we have even failed ourselves.
Very good. Ambassador Milton, 2 minutes as you're ending, as you see the producer is chasing us. The entire land of South Africa, entire, 95% of it is still in the hands of the white man. Now, he who has the land is the one in charge of the economics. Because All economics in the world is done on the land. Food, agriculture. That's why they say the farmers are the boers. You, the blacks, are the consumers. Because you have no land to till. So 97% of your land is in the hands of the white man. After getting that land, he has built apartments where you are renting, including you, the Ugandan in South Africa. You are actually a tenant of the white man. From your small apartment that you are renting, in the morning you go to sweep on the streets.
Yes.
A South African is telling you that the white man is not the problem. The problem is you, who is renting on the white man's place. In the morning you go to sweep. You are the problem. You are the one who has taken his job, not the white man. Tell me that I am the one who is stupid.
You know you are the brightest person.
No, I am stupid,
But
Milton.
my problem is, what is our... Because we are talking about very serious things here. I don't know how we will push this message. Like the message chairman has spoken. We have to find a way of exporting this discussion to South Africa. Because nobody is talking to the South Africans. And we are here with a vision. If they can use this wisdom, possibly they will even stop this bombardment on brothers and sisters.
You know
So
what is annoying?
Yes, please.
Apartheid, when they were still fighting, President Museveni offered them here Kaweweta. They were here training.
Exactly. Even the land. We did each African. Let me start with the economics that you have shared with me. I'm going to push it on the economic side so that it makes sense. Our speaker, honorable speaker, I want to tell the members that please understand South Africa so that we now talk about it when you know it economically. Right now as we speak, South Africa has a GDP nominal GDP of around $480 billion.
Close to Nigeria.
Close to Nigeria, exactly. Close to Nigeria. The population of South Africa is around 65 million people, of which more than 80% of the population are black people. The rest are the other Boers and the rest, the Indians. Now, the per capita income nominal is around $7,000. For Uganda is around $1,320. Of course, our population is growing, 48 million people. And Museveni is saying by 2040, we should be able to have a $500 billion economy. So yes, it is true, we shall reach there as the population and the quality of life, schooling, curriculum, government programs and infrastructure is increasing. All that increases, literally we will reach there because South Africa has also reached there. But when we reach to the one holding the economy of South Africa, just like in Uganda, more than actually like 60% of our economy, the contributor to that economy are not us, the black people. These are the Indians who actually is just like 1% of the population. 2%, very small local population. But so you ask, is the problem in our color of the skin that we are not productive? So it's the same to South Africa. And so you see black people are too many, more than 80% are blacks. But the production is not more than 60%. It's not tallying with the population. Just like the whole continent of Africa. 1.4 billion Africans. But look, they have failed to even reach 3.3 trillion US dollars. Now they are close to 3 trillion US dollars. 1.4 billion people. Look at a country like South Korea. Maybe that's very far. Look at the Japan, because you drive a lot of Toyota. They are not more than 130 million people. but their economy is more than 5 trillion US dollars. South Korea, now it has taken over Japan. It does not reach 140 million people. Their economy is 6 trillion US dollars. Trillions. Africans, 1.4 billion people. Useless people. So the problem is not that we are chasing the African, fellow Africans, the Nigerians, the South Africans are chasing fellow black people. The problem is the knowledge of self. Who are we in the context of the black liberation struggle? And so it challenges me why Nelson Mandela was even jailed for 27 years for these fools. It challenges me for the very reason why his colleagues in the ANC joined him in the liberation of South Africa and fighting the Apartheid regime. Are we cursed? Are we stupid? Are we ignorant? To the extent that chairman now is justifying that the white man must come back and lead us. Because we are stupid, idiot, ignorant, lazy hooligans.
And the show from here
inspires me to one, question the leadership of South Africa. President Ramaphosa, you are part of the G something something. Now you are part of the
G20.
BRICS. You are part of the G20. You are part of the African Union. You are part of the men. You even took Israel to court, by the way. That shows that now I am questioning your leadership, that how did this begin? Why did it begin in the regime of Nelson Mandela? The whole ANC has been corrupted. It has collapsed to the extent that values no longer drive leadership in South Africa. The leadership, because they say, change culture, change the game. The culture in South Africa is too criminal. Where is the president and the government? You inherited what you cannot manage. That's a question mark. Now you are asking all African countries to support you, the presidents to come in. But you are there, you have been given the mandate to lead South Africa. Do not allow fellow blacks to be chased like dogs from Mother Africa. Because South Africa benefits from our economies. We have used the example of MTN or telecommunication from Nigeria to Nairobi, Kampala, Cairo to South Africa. All these are companies owned by your South Africans.
Banking system, Stanbic Bank.
Banking system, Stanbic Bank. We have mining companies.
They
we
all
have
here.
Minerals in gold, diamonds. Now, if you now allow your citizens, you must be able to arrest them. Arrest them, put them in the court justice system, because it is illegal for a South African black fellow brother and sister to chase a black brother and sister from Nigeria, from DRC. But the problem is that the jobs are not there. But did they create those jobs? The African fellow blacks go create the funny jobs, do the work, and they open the economy. And that's the economy, actually, the very economy taking care of them, built by fellow Ugandans, Nigerians, and Kenyans. It means we are working for your own benefit.
And by the way, we are not saying that they should not use the justice system to penalize wrongdoers.
Exactly.
No. The system that penalizes the citizen of South Africa
should be the same
that penalizes Irumba in South Africa when I go wrong. When I
if
go
you're a foreigner.
Yes.
Exactly.
But there should not be a foreigner, an African foreigner on an African soil.
That is stupidity.
There is no African foreigner on African soil. Whether you are South African in Uganda, whether I'm a Ugandan in South Africa, I am not a foreigner, I'm at home. If I'm in South Africa and I commit a crime, I should be taken through the judicial system like a South African would be.
Yes.
But these things of targeting people from other countries and you target them as foreigners, you steal. They are stealing from them.
It now questions my mind. Should we also abandon consuming the products from South Africa?
Or should we also treat South Africans in our countries the same way?
South Africa will collapse. It will completely go back to that time.
Should we right now?
And the white man will come now to actually take over South Africa voluntarily as a volunteer.
Should a Ugandan in Uganda right now start looking for South African businesses
Exactly.
and loot them?
Exactly.
And the police of Uganda and government of Uganda, Museveni, they are looking on.
And
they are taking our job.
That is the same mentality that we were deploying while fighting the Banyarwanda in Uganda. So we have to be careful here that we cannot talk about Africa's integration without preparing our people that when they come, they have capacity to buy land and marry from your communities.
Live freely.
Live freely. Africans by nature, we are welcoming people, receptive people, loving people, caring people. So that group in South Africa, actually it's a very small group. We need to counter and advocate for free and fair lifestyle in South Africa. South Africa is now a criminal gang.
It's being run by a rogue.
So leadership here is being tested. It is no longer the issue of now blaming the white man. No.
It's you. It's you, Ramaphosa.
It is Ramaphosa, you in charge.
What are you doing?
Parliament, and that's why I like my friend Malema. Malema, regardless of the other issues that about the other areas, but on this point, I didn't agree with you on the issue of homosexuality. But on this one, he was right.
We are with you.
We are with you. Uganda is with you because you challenged the status quo of the poor mindset we have towards each other, pulling each other down. That's nonsense. But the colonial mind that is in Europe is now going to use this gap to come and colonize us again, because we can't lead ourselves, we can't manage ourselves, we can't unite ourselves, we can't lift each other up. So these borderless economies is what we want. We want borderless economy. We want Africa that is united.
Africa, you have been on their show, on our Pan-African shows. We are rooting for a borderless Africa.
Yes.
We are rooting for one passport.
Yes, one passport.
We are rooting for one president.
One president, one parliament, one security, one army, one police, one judicial,
United
one
States
curriculum.
of Africa.
Exactly.
Now, as we are doing that, South Africa is saying you go back to Uganda.
No, we will not allow that.
What type of mentality is
That's
that?
why, Speaker, I encourage you, sir, now to expand this narrative. Speaker, with due respect, the members of this movement, all of us need to have a day, and we walk from Ginger Road up to
South African
Embassy.
We tell them.
We show with your permission. You take the assets, the tools to inspire President Ramaphosa and his government, and the civil society spaces and religious leaders in South Africa. Our kingdoms, our king in Zulu, and the remnants of our cultural structures, we need to stand up. The civil society, the educational sector, to show that this is wrong, because other countries are going to do the same. And when they do the same, in Europe, because this is divide and rule, the other colonial masters that mapped Africa and chopped us into small portions, Rwanda, Kenya, without considering that we are one tribe, one faith tradition, we are one people. They will now say, hey, now we are going back for the second scramble and petition of Africa.
And on that note, my elder brother, Comrade Ambassador Milton Kambula, it's been a very good time for me to have you.
Thank you.
It's been the best show I've ever had. I can tell you, we have short of our time for over about 20 minutes because I could not stop you.
Thank you.
It's very hard to stop you, Milton. When you start speaking, I cannot stop you.
Thank you.
So this has been one of the most entertaining and interesting shows where you would say, please stop, and then you cannot stop.
Border to border.
Thank you so much. My name is Andrew Irumba, your speaker. There is one Africa. There are not 54 Africans. There is one Africa. There is one country called the United States of Africa.
Yes.
There is no African who is a foreigner on an African land.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter where you are.
Speaker, you are right.
There is no foreigner
Yes.
who is in Africa
Yes.
and you are an African. You are saying,
Speaker,
I'm
you
a
are-
foreigner.
Yes.
Free your mind now. Be part of the People's Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.